and welcome to Fin Business. A lot of interesting conversations here at the Singapore FinTech Festival. And this is a very interesting conversation that we are going to have in the area of business decision automation with Mr. Rohit Mathur of Actico. Actico has been doing a lot of very interesting developments in the area of business decision making, especially in the banking and financial sector. So Rohit, welcome to Fin Business.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Great. So Rohit, let us try to learn a little bit about the business decision making and the automation as a process.
Yeah.
Okay. A whole lot of work has been happening in the decision making sector, especially with the help of business intelligence or machine learning and artificial intelligence. So is it really going to make a lot of existing workforce redundant? What is your perspective on this?
Well, as a company at Actico, we believe that in the future decisions will be made in two ways. One of the stream will be human expertise, which is important and will remain to be very important in decision making in the future. But increasingly with digitization and a lot of data available within organizations, big data and machine learning algorithms will play a very important role and will feed into human expertise and try to make it better. Okay. So what we believe is a perfect decision or a good business decision in the future will be a combination of both human expertise as well as machine learning. And that's one of the core belief and the background for all the products that we are developing right now.
So when you come to the banking and financial services sector, a whole lot of areas require decision making.
Yeah.
Correct? So when a bank or a financial institution is going in for automation of its decision making process, what are the key things you think should be considered by the organization so that they go the right way, which will be beneficial?
Sure. So automation again is not something which is new. It has been happening for decades. But what is new is centralization. In large organizations, automation or technology initiatives have been ongoing for a lot of time, but there are so many silo systems in operation that it's not actually adding to the efficiency, but rather increasing complexity within organizations. So I think the future is an aligned IT strategy and centralized repository of business logic, which is easily manageable and more power to business teams. So decreasing reliance on IT functions, but rather business IT becoming a hybrid model of operation in some ways, where development becomes a central thing that a financial institution does, and business users have more power or more ownership of their own logic, both from an operational standpoint as well as from a change management standpoint.
So needless to say, ultimately the business would like to control most part of the decision.
Absolutely.
And so how do you make sure that the business gets a better control over the things rather than looking into the codes of various things into decision making, which they are not good at?
Sure. So the technology is at a point where, there was a point when you had to learn a language, a coding language to actually go out and code and build a solution. But there are many solutions in the market, including our own, where you can actually graphically model business logic and business rules. And the system takes care of the coding aspect. So which makes it very, very easy for a business user to comprehend, to understand, and also to make changes. So it helps, as I said, making changes very easy, which is extremely important in a fast growing and a fastly changing ecosystem where every day you need to change your business logic and business decisions. As I said, better harmony between internal business as well as IT teams to make the whole organization more agile, as well as a faster change management process within the organization.
So if you see a typical financial organization, you have got a whole lot of divisions or departments where decision making is required. It can be a business banking, it can be retail banking, it can be wealth management, and everyone uses different elements many a times in different silos.
Right.
How can you make it seamless across the organization? What is needed?
Well, again, as I mentioned, this is something which is extremely critical. What we use the word digital transformation, and the organization will truly get digitally transformed if right from a central decision making to decision making at a retail bank, in some part of the world, will be equally digitally accessible and aligned on objectives. For example, our product is, can automate decisions across. Allow me to take an example on credit risk management or credit decisioning. So whether it's a retail credit decision or a large corporate or commercial credit decision, all of them can be automated and decisions can be taken on a single platform, while giving access to decision makers on the same platform to manage and control credit policies.
Okay. So, what are the typical kind of use cases that you would say are very prominent in this sector, so that organization can model their decision making around them?
No, absolutely. So the use cases are wide. I've already mentioned, and I'll further elaborate on credit decisioning, which is getting important day to day. In both the developed as well as the developing world. But the use cases go far beyond that. Use cases include compliance, so ensuring that companies meet regulatory demands, to customer engagement, which is targeted communication, upselling and cross-selling. So sales and marketing, there are equal number of applications outside of the financial world, which I'll not elaborate, but in the pharmaceutical, healthcare industry, in the manufacturing industry, IoT is basically a fancier name for similar technology, which allows you to make faster decisions in the digital world.
You mentioned a whole lot of areas, but where is the world going now next? What next that you see?
Well, what is next is increasing complexity and faster change cycles. That is what we hear from our customers, and that is one of the reasons that our product or our solutions basically are favored by the clients, because it gives them control of their business logic. It allows them to change things very fast, and at the same time it's scalable, and at the same time it also helps them to control what they have in terms of business logic or credit policy.
Fantastic. So you have been really empowering a whole lot of financial services organizations in making better, faster and more reliable decisions, and I'm sure a whole lot will join you in the near future to take better decisions. So happy decision making. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.